Hello and welcome everybody to another StarCraft 2 cast by Glitch. Today, I know I said I'd be bringing you MLG replays, but I've been doing that all week long, and WhiteRa actually just uploaded a whole bunch of ladder matches that he was doing the last time he was streaming, so I thought, hey, why not? Let's stream some WhiteRa ladder games. And so, I'm actually doing something a little bit different. Well, I'll tell you this. All the replays that I'm going to be uploading today are going to be replays of WhiteRa on ladder, but they're all going to be shorter matches. I think they're all going to be around 10 minutes-ish. And all of them, WhiteRa is going to be doing different kinds of early aggression on his opponents. We're going to be casting a PvZ, a PvT, and a PvP, all with some unique early aggressive openings that WhiteRa uses. And this is something that I feel like is very important for people to see, just because a lot of times I feel like Protosses feel like they have to be passive. A lot of lower level Protosses say, you know what, I can't find a good way to be really aggressive in the early game, and so we're going to be looking at some of WhiteRa's games where he's going to be very aggressive in the openings. So, spawning today in the top right position of Shakuras Plateau as the red Protoss, we have WhiteRa, who looks like he is going for a fast expansion, by the way. His Zerg opponent today, spawning in the bottom left position as the blue Zerg, playing from Team Liquid, we have GLiTCHStarCraft. GLiTCHStarCraft is, of course, a very good North American Zerg player. Very, very good player who does very well in tournaments. Hasn't put out any major tournament wins yet, but he does really well, and he does take a lot of wins off a lot of good players. He's probably one of the least appreciated Zerg players in North America, despite being very, very good. Now, it looks like WhiteRa did try to deny that spawning pool for a little while here, but we're going to ignore that just for now, and we're actually going to take a look at the natural expansion of WhiteRa, because he is taking a very, very fast Nexus. Notice he has no Forge, no Gateway, nothing up yet, and ooh, it looks like GLiTCHStarCraft is actually going to go for the early hatchery block. He's already thrown down a hatchery. He's trying to block the gateway from going down there. What he's trying to prevent is a solid wall off. He doesn't want any kind of a solid wall off going here, so that if he's going for some kind of early aggression, he's actually going to be able to get in and do quite a bit of damage. And because WhiteRa rather, is not going to be able to get up that early gateway and cybernetics core to completely wall this off. So this is going to deny that for quite a little while, and how is WhiteRa going to respond? Well, notice first thing he's doing is making sure that his opponent isn't expanding, so that means his opponent is most likely going to be trying to get aggressive here, and holy cow, GLiTCHStarCraft is pulling a lot of drones off the line, but WhiteRa actually does scout it. It looks like GLiTCHStarCraft might have actually been trying to go for a really, really big attack with drones, going completely all in there, but because it got scouted, decided to just pull back those drones, keep them mining, and he's just going to be aggressive with these Zerglings. Now, we do see 2 photon cannons now going down here for WhiteRa. In the meantime, he's continuing to build lots and lots of workers. Notice he is not stopping that worker production. Constant worker production despite this early aggressive move here by GLiTCHStarCraft. And now we do have Zerglings coming across the map here. WhiteRa has scouted them, knows that they're coming here, and there we go. The gateway is instantly being plopped down, but I think with 2 photon cannons here, I think he'll probably be fairly safe as long as GLiTCHStarCraft doesn't have Zergling speed. Photon cannons, of course, 2-shot Zerglings if they don't have any upgrades, the Zerglings I mean. And so without Zergling speed, it's going to be very hard for a big group of Zerglings to get through 2 cannons. Those cannons will decimate Zerglings as they try to pass through. And there goes the natural expansion down by GLiTCHStarCraft. No gas yet taken by GLiTCHStarCraft. WhiteRa just now taking both of his 2 main expansion gas geysers right away. And no gas yet taken for the 3rd and 4th gas geysers. Gateway just now going to be finishing up, and GLiTCHStarCraft deciding to go for the very, very fast 3rd, and WhiteRa scouting it. Notice his scout timing for this. He's trying to be very active in scouting this 3rd base. He wants to know exactly when GLiTCHStarCraft's 3rd base is going down, and whether there is one going down at all, because you kind of have to, when you try to figure out what your opponent is doing, you want to lump your, you kind of want to lump categories of builds into what your opponent could be doing. When you're trying to figure out what your opponent's doing and what you're scouting, you want to try to scout the big things first. Is he going to be sticking on 1 base? Is he going to be sticking on 2 base? Is he going to be sticking on 3 base? In this case, we have obviously scouted that there is going to be 3 bases, and look at this, there's going to be a pylon being dropped down here in the main. Looks like WhiteRa has something in mind, and we are going to see what that is very shortly. Now taking his 3rd and 4th gas geysers as well. So if you don't take these 3rd and 4th gas geysers, that leaves you kind of open to do a lot of 5 gate pushes, 6 gate pushes, 7 gate pushes. A lot of those kind of pushes require that you mine just minerals and get saturated at your natural expansion, and then you stop producing workers and do not get these 3 and 4 gas geysers, these 3rd and 4th gas geysers. But with those 3rd and 4th gas geysers, this is exactly what WhiteRa is going to be doing. He is now throwing down double Stargate. That's going to be a very, very aggressive air opening for a Protoss player. And HayPro does have some Zerglings stationed right out in the front of WhiteRa's base, but now he's going to be producing 1 Stalker there, and he's going to be very careful in his micro of the Stalker. He's going to come forward, he's going to shoot these Zerglings a couple of times, and then he's just going to be able to pull back to his cannons anytime those Zerglings decide to get aggressive and force that Stalker out. There we go, he's now just pulling back to those cannons. And now it looks like his Stargates are going to be finishing up, and HayPro has no idea that these are coming. No Evolution Chamber yet going down for HayPro. Roach Warren actually going down right now. 3rd gas guys are coming up now for HayPro as well, and now we do have 2 Void Rays being chrono boosted out here for WhiteRa. Now, remember, these were 2 Stargates that went down only after scouting that 3rd. Because this 3rd went up, it means that HayPro is focusing more on getting up lots and lots of drones, lots of economy, and he's not going to be as focused on getting up tech. He's less likely to have an Evolution Chamber up so that he can start getting up those Spore Crawlers, and we're going to see that this is actually going to be very strong here from WhiteRa. First 2 Void Rays are now out. A second 2 Void Rays actually now being chrono boosted out by WhiteRa. So it looks like this is going to be a very, very aggressive 4 Void Ray opening here from WhiteRa. In the meantime, WhiteRa is actually taking a 3rd. Why? He's feeling safe in taking a 3rd because he's applying pressure to his opponent's 3rd base. His opponent is not really going to be able to do a whole lot else right now. His opponent is going to have to sit back here and try to deny any kind of damage from being done, and this is going to be a huge focus for HayPro. And as we can see, he has gone for Roaches, so he has a lot of Roaches out. No Evolution Chamber yet down for HayPro. He does have Zergling Speed on the way now, Glial Reconstitution on the way as well, but 2 Void Rays currently out on the map. Another 2 Void Rays being sent directly to the main expansion. Again, his 3rd is going down behind this. This is not all in by any means. This is just early pressure on his opponent, which is allowing him the freedom to be able to take his 3rd expansion. And once a Protoss is on 3rd base against Zerg, 3 bases can be very, very strong. Notice he poked down here to check for any stray Overlords that could be scouting that 3rd. He wants to keep his opponent in the dark about that 3rd for as long as possible, but I think HayPro is... No, he's actually not going to scout it with this Overlord, and the GG actually comes out of HayPro right away as soon as that 3rd goes down. So, looks like WhiteRa is going to be taking that game. Did he go for any follow-up? No, I was actually kind of hoping that we would see a little bit of follow-up to these Stargates, but I imagine a standard follow-up would be to just take more gateways, get more of a ground-based army here while these 4 Void Rays are out in the middle of the map doing damage, trying to damage his opponent as much as possible. But we didn't get to that point in the game, so well played game there by WhiteRa. And now we're going to be jumping into a PvT of WhiteRa, so stick around. More WhiteRa games coming up in just a moment.